Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, another discussion video of a topic that I'm sure will be talked about for the entirety of 2025, and that is $80 video games. You know, even more so than when games went up to $70, this $80 price hike, I feel like, has caused a lot more discussion as far as people just being up in arms over it to an extent. However, this time around with games going up to $80, I have also seen more than last time. And I was making YouTube videos when games went up to $70. I remember the social media rhetoric back then. But this time around, and you're talking 5 years have passed since games went up to $70, with the $80 price tag, I do see there being a significant amount of people that are just completely unfazed by this price increase. And I'll go back to the video I did 2 days ago about games going up to $80, and I saw a lot of this in the comment section, and I am totally there with you guys as far as, yeah, games are going up to $80, there are gonna be games out there that are $80. Am I left to really care that more? No. And let me be completely transparent with you guys. I am in a very blessed position where I have access to a lot of these games. I know that it's very easy for a lot of you guys to say, well, you get so many games for free, you have access to all of these games. Not the average person is like that. Yes, I understand that, you know, I can't completely be like, oh, who cares about $80 games? Just go buy them and you'll get a lot more content. No, I totally understand why people would have reservations and why I would even be criticized of having this kind of opinion. However, this is coming from the standpoint of me empathizing with a lot of you guys, trying to put myself in the average person's shoes, because for a long time I was exactly that. I was the average person buying all of the games that were coming out. I didn't have YouTube videos to do or anything like that. You know, so I feel like I can do a fairly decent job empathizing with you and putting myself in your shoes. And that's because at the end of the day, I am a gamer like you with a insane backlog. I cover video game deals on this channel all the time. I know that at this point in time in the gaming world, there is no point in buying these games as they come out unless it is a game that you are absolutely incredibly excited for, which, ask yourself that. How many games coming out every year are you just absolutely stoked to play that you cannot wait for? For me, it was only a couple of games this year so far that if I was the average person playing games, would I be like, oh my god, I gotta play that game day one, or I gotta play that game day one? Yeah, there are a lot of games that I enjoyed and I had a good time with, but if I was the average person, I can easily say I would have no problem waiting for that game to go on sale. By the way, much like a lot of the other typical people out there, I have a significant backlog as well, which if I'm not buying the latest games, bro, I got a billion games to play. There's like free-to-play games that people are jugging in their library. There is no shortage of games to play. I get that some people do want to play all of the newest games that come out, and for a long time, I was like that as well, but that really was more so born because I cover video games on this channel. I feel like that is what I need to do. I need to play all of the games that come out. This year, I have been being more selective where I just have had to pass on games. Look, I value my time more than anything, and I just don't want to sit down and play Atomfall for X amount of hours. I did not want to play First Berserker Kazan. I'll get to them at some point. I did not want to play AI Limit. I had to pass on a lot of these games this year, and honestly, it's made my gaming life so much more enjoyable that I have been a little bit more selective on what I invest my time into. And yes, the FOMO is there to an extent, but really ask yourself, this year, look at the upcoming slate of games. How many of these games do you want to play day one? For me, upcoming, you know, Death Stranding 2, I definitely want to play that day one. Outside of that, it's really slim pickings for me. I'm sure there are a couple of games out there that I'm just forgetting about because they're not in my complete periphery view right now. Like even a Ninja Gaiden 4. I'm super excited for Ninja Gaiden 4, and I get that that game will be on Xbox Game Pass. I would not have that big of an issue with waiting to play that game down the line. Especially if Ninja Gaiden 4 is $80, you guys. Forget Xbox Game Pass for a second, but let's just say you don't want to subscribe to a subscription service of Ninja Gaiden 4 because it's a Microsoft-published game, and they said that a lot of their games, first party, are going to go up to $80 this holiday. Is Ninja Gaiden 4 a game that a lot of you guys are going to lose sleep over if you don't play it day one? I feel like you can wait to play Ninja Gaiden 4. There are other games that came out earlier this year, like a lot of the games I played, Dynasty Warriors Origins. Loved the game, thought it was great. $70 for that game, I probably would skip out on it for now. And it's not the basis of, oh, this game is bad, that game is better. It's just the reality is the backlogs are crazy. There are incredible deals running year-round on games that I haven't played, and if I wasn't covering video games online, my backlog would be even more insane because I wouldn't have had the time to play the games I already have played. So if I was the average person, the typical backlog you guys have are insane. And my backlog of games I want to play, games I want to replay, it's like 1,000 games deep or something like that. Maybe not 1,000, but it's a lot of games. I remember going through the whole thing and juggling that with the games coming out. It's just come to the realization, like, you don't have to play these games as they come out. You can wait. And a lot of the comments in my video talking about games going up to $80, it was a lot of that. One user noted, "Oh no, whatever shall we do? Looks at Steam backlog with 200 games I haven't touched at all. They can keep raising prices, but my library is large enough that I can wait till those $80 titles are less than $10. I'll do that, user one better. My backlog is so big to last me a lifetime." Like, that is the reality of it, where it's just like, sure, I don't want these games to go to $80. I don't want $130 Ultimate Editions, but at this point, it's the accepted reality, and what I like to assess is the fact that, okay, games are gonna go up to $80. They better be selective on what games are gonna be $80, because now you've got games like Expedition 33 coming out at $50, and Expedition 33 is a far more compelling game than the Callisto Protocols of the world, the Marvel Midnight Suns of the world. No slight to Marvel Midnight Suns, it's a decent game, but come on now. The Wild Hearts, the Immortals of Aveum. Sure, there are $70 games that come out that are worthwhile and you can really sink your teeth into and you can have a great time with it, but how many of those are there really? And then when you up that to $80, it's even more few and far between. There are very few games that I would say jump out at me that I would be like, okay, yeah, I'll drop $80 on that. Even a game like Ghosts of Yote, I would argue that, yeah, that game looks great, but I think $70 to $80 for a game like that is wild. Mario Kart's a gigantic IP. Grand Theft Auto, gigantic IP. Ghosts of Yote, and then even lesser IPs like a Ninja Gaiden, when you're talking about those games being at $80, that's where I think from a development standpoint and releasing games and them not doing well enough commercially, I think the $80 price tag is going to be restrictive. And you can be of the mindset that, hey, the developers know that those games are going to go on sale eventually and people will buy them then. What I would argue is for a game like Ninja Gaiden 4, it really would be beneficial for word of mouth to be out there and people talking positively about the game. If you're gating them out from the get-go by just the price point, that is a problem in terms of that social media momentum, which is so important in 2025. Look at Expedition 33. That game came out at $50. A lot of that game's push was it coming out, people checking it out, and then that momentum built on social media, everybody playing it, and then also the barrier for entry was a $50 price tag. It's not that crazy, and you're going to see that more with games like Wushang Fallen Feathers. I don't know how good Fallen Feathers is going to be, but I think that $50 price tag is going to be something that other developers potentially should look at to entice people to check out their games. There's obviously going to be the argument of, you know, a game offers you 100 hours of gameplay and you're complaining about an $80 price tag when you're spending $20 to go see a movie. I just think those comparison points are disingenuous. Gaming is one form of entertainment. We compare it to other games that are on the market. That's the most natural comparison point that we're going to make. And hours of gameplay, I don't think is the only quantifiable metric to use. Is it one that people will use? Is it important? Absolutely. But I think if we get into this world of, oh, we just want X amount of hours of gameplay, I think that's really, really bad. And that's when you end up with like AC Valhalla situations where, yeah, the game has 150, 200 hours of content, but how much of that content is good? A very, very little portion of it. But that'll do it for me. Interested to hear your guys' thoughts, and maybe the title will get people to dislike, be like, oh man, you're defending $80 price points. I'm not defending $80 price points. The reality is it's coming. Now it's on you to utilize your finances wisely. Are you gonna buy $80 games? Hopefully you'll be at the very least selective of what $80 games you pick up, because I don't think your backlog is going anywhere. I don't think the game quality is going that astronomically higher. Look at Sony. They've been releasing games with a 5-year development cycle. Have their games really gotten any better? I would say they peaked from like 2009 to 2000 and maybe 16, 17, 18, around that range. But after that, when you talked about, when you look at games like Last of Us Part 2, and a lot of the games, even Spider-Man 2, look, good games, but are they that much better given the dev cycles that they're at? No. Like, Uncharted 1 through 3 and Last of Us Part 1, they clown on Last of Us Part 2. Absolutely clown on that. And those games came out all in the same window of time that it took for Naughty Dog to put out their latest game in Intergalactic. And Intergalactic is going to bomb at an $80 price tag relative to what I imagine expectations would be. I don't think that game's going to do very well. I think the established IPs, the big titles, at $80, yeah, they'll do fine regardless, but it's very difficult to pop off with a new IP at $70. One standout to me would be Stellar Blade. Like, that game did very well, but that's the exception rather than the rule in a lot of these cases. But that's gonna do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.